Get your things and leave. You're fired. That's what the man in the black suit said to our teacher, right in front of us. We were in the middle of math class. Our pens dropped. The room went silent. Miss Daniels stood frozen near the whiteboard, gripping the marker like it was the only thing keeping her upright. Her voice shook. Well, what are you talking about? You can't just walk in here and... The man cut her off. You failed to report bullying. You ignored the warnings. You turned away from a child who was crying out for help. My son. Her face went pale. She looked around the classroom like maybe someone would defend her. But no one moved, because we all knew the truth. She had ignored it, over and over again. And then he said it again. Get out! Today is your last day. He walked out without waiting for her response. And she stood there for a long second, then quietly gathered her things and left the room. We sat there stunned. No one said a word, not even the class clown. Because here's what most people didn't know. The boy she ignored was in this room not long ago. Quiet, kind, never said a bad word about anyone. But he got picked on for that, got shoved, laughed at. One day his sketchbook got torn apart and Miss Daniels just told him to man up. The next day, and he stopped coming to school. We never saw him again until the following Monday. That same quiet boy walked back into our class. Same hoodie, same silent eyes. Only this time, he didn't sit in the corner. He walked to the middle row and sat right in the center. Nobody said a word to him. We didn't know what to say. At the end of class, our new principal walked in. Yeah, the man in the black suit? That was his dad, not just some random parent. He had been appointed weeks ago, but hadn't said a word until now. He looked at all of us and said, when people fail kids, especially the quiet ones, there must be consequences, but also second chances. Then he turned to Miss Daniels, who had been called back to face us one last time. She stood in front of us, shaking. I'm sorry, she said. To the student I ignored. To every one of you I let down. I thought discipline meant silence, but I forgot that silence can scream. And that was the first time we saw her cry. From that day on, Ms. Daniels became the teacher we always hoped she'd be. She started listening more, helping more, asking questions instead of making assumptions. And that quiet boy, he didn't have to say much because he'd already said everything without a single word. You might miss out on our next interesting stories if you are not following us.